everyone, I'm Morgan.
And I'm Nikki, and you're watching Masculinity Mania. So what is Masculinity Mania? Masculinity Mania looks at multiple definitions of masculinity.
Today's topic is metrosexuality.
Before we get into today's topic, let's go over what it means to be a traditionally masculine man.
Traditional masculine men are tough, emotionally detached, and uninterested in their appearance. Traditional masculinity is often associated with physical dominance, intelligence, and power, especially that is superior to women. Traditional masculinity is also associated with successful professional lives and sex lives.
You may be wondering, what is metrosexuality? Mark Simpson coined this term. He describes a metrosexual as a young man with a high disposable income, living or working in the city. It is all about appearance, being a nicer guy, a better listener, and a better communicator.
Metrosexuality started to become a trend in the 1990s. We believe it challenges some of the traditional values of masculinity, such as being a tough guy, as well as behaving, communicating, and dressing in a standard uniform way. Metrosexuality lets men express themselves more honestly when it comes to appearance, personality, and lifestyle choices.
When we think about the word metrosexual, we can break it down to help us give a better understanding. Metro is short for metropolitan, which refers to an area that is a city. Most metrosexual live in cities due to their occupation. Most metrosexual men work in a field that does not involve working with your hands, which is a traditionally masculine profession. Metrosexual men also usually have an occupation that earns enough income for them to have disposable income.
Now let's take a look into media. Media often shows extreme notions of masculinity. Here's a scene from American History X.
Fucked with the wrong bull. Come here! You should have learned your place on the fucking basketball court. But you fucking monkeys never get the message. My father gave me that truck, you motherfucker. You ever shoot at firemen? You come here, you shoot at my family? I'm gonna teach you a real lesson now, motherfucker. Put your fucking mouth on the curb. Put it on the curb right now! That's it. Now say goodnight.
This scene is an example of a traditional view of masculinity, which includes power, control, superiority, and violence.
Now let's take a look at Modern Family, which shows us an example of a metrosexual character.
Manny.
What's up, big guy?
How hard is it to learn this salsa dancing stuff?
Not hard at all. It's about tapping into your emotion, your passion, and your inner fire.
Crap. I stink at dancing. First dance at our wedding, Glory was all graceful and gorgeous, and I was all big and clunky, like that scene from Beauty and the Beast. Actually, that was the song. Manny picked it. He didn't like me back then.
Okay, back straight. Okay, do as I do. Other leg. Okay, stop marching. You're dancing, not invading Poland.
We can obviously see the difference between the two. Within the Modern Family scene, we see a man who cares about his appearance and seems to be able to express their emotions.
Communication is a huge part of this metrosexual movement. Communication is widely encouraged in today's society between children and parents, partners, and friends. Communication has typically been an issue for many men since they strive for independence.
Recently, Men's Health magazine published an article called The Surprising Benefits of Good Communication. This article touched on the 6 tricky relationship talks you must have.
It touched on the importance for men to have talks with your partner about finances to STDs to the "where is this relationship going" conversation. By encouraging men to express their emotions rather than hide them, this article seems to point to a more broadened version of today's man.
Now let's talk about the appearance aspect. Masculine men stereotypically often have either the lumberjack look or the power suit look, but today appearance seems to be more of an importance for men.
We can't do it like The Wall Street Journal recently published an article about men and the fashion industry. There is a new set of terms such as merce, moulerie, and mandals. Do you get it? The terms are coined in order to signify masculinity associated with their base words.
There have been a large amount of designers who have come out with these items and they have been very popular. For example, Philip Lim 3.1. The male pampering industry is now worth $5 billion.
Also, since the beginning of this year, men's clothing sales have risen 4.6% compared to women's clothing sales, which have dropped 0.8%. This shows an increased interest for men in their appearance, which broadens the cultural definition of masculinity.
We can also take a look into the reality television show Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. Let's look at a clip from an episode so you can get an idea of what this is about.
Boys, here we have George Katsigiannis. Do you think he might be Greek?
I think he just might be. I think he might be a little Greek.
Yeah. He's a 27-year-old orange, blonde-haired husk of a man.
Orange.
He definitely needs a tanning intervention.
Oh, he's got Oompa Loompa coloring.
George is a kickboxing instructor at the New York Sports Club.
Nice.
All right.
You guys, that hair is freaking me out. It looks like he's trying to be someone other than who he is.
He thinks he looks like John Bon Jovi. Fabio's the right answer. I think he's got kind of a transgendered vibe going on.
I think he's tragic.
He broke up with his girlfriend of 5 years, and he really wants to get back into the dating
And
scene.
she took all his furniture.
He lives with his mother.
He lives with his mother, or she lives in the same building?
I think it's the same building.
So she still does all the cooking for him.
Guys, we have our work cut out for us.
He has no furniture, he has no clothes, he has weird hair.
He's got way
he
too
can't
much
cook.
hair. I think the theme for this guy, for all of us, is starting over.
As you can see, the show is all about taking a male with a typical masculine attitude and characteristics and giving him a total makeover, buying him a new wardrobe, redesigning his home, and offering him advice on cooking, self-grooming, and lifestyle choices. The show turns the masculine man into a metrosexual man by making him more concerned with his overall appearance.
So what makes this significant? It shows the world that there's more to masculinity than watching football and changing the oil in the car. Masculinity can also include enjoying food preparation or taking interest in appearance.
The skincare line Dove has a new advertising campaign for their Dove Men Care product line. Let's take a look at one of their ads with Shaquille O'Neal.
Hi, I'm Shaquille O'Neal, and this is my mother, Lucille O'Neal, the most important woman in my life. When I was younger, going through the name calling, Sasquatch,
Shakira.
I would come in all upset. She gives me a beautiful smile to calm me down.
The world had to get used to a young man named Shaquille.
I think it's a great name. I think it's a name that fit what I wanted to become. Thank you, Mommy.
You're welcome.
My name is Shaquille O'Neal, and I am definitely comfortable in my own skin.
Shaq has the most stereotypical and traditional traits of masculinity. He is successful, intimidating, seems to be very tough, and has a profession in sports. But on this commercial, he is talking about an emotional experience he has had.
The commercial shows that men today are more comfortable expressing their feelings. The fact that the commercial is for a skincare line also goes along with the growing importance of appearance for men.
So why is this growing trend of metrosexuality important for society to acknowledge? Metrosexuality is broadening society's view of masculinity for the better.
Rather than masculinity being instantly linked to guns, sports, and hot girls, it can now be associated with a much larger range of interests. It allows men to openly be interested in their appearance, lifestyle, and improving their inner self through communication.
Metrosexuality allows masculinity to value appearance, honesty, and emotions rather than only the narrow-minded traditional masculine values.
Metrosexuality should not be thought of as a divergence from masculinity, but as a way to broaden our constricted definition and make more possibilities of masculinity valid.
This shift is positive because now masculinity is open to more than traditional masculine traits, which are often associated with violence and hidden emotions.
Communication is beneficial for relationships and parenting. The importance of appearance is that it allows men to be expressive and feel better about themselves.
As you can see, media has played a large role in the evolution of metrosexuality. It is appearing more and more in popular movies, television shows, and magazines.
Metrosexuality is an element of personal freedom that has not always been there for men. It has had such a strong impact on broadening society's view of masculinity.
And that is all for today. Thank you for watching tuning into Masculinity Mania, where multiple definitions of masculinity are looked at.